Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but a Dre Mac? Came into the game just to get facts. Into the space that I'm in. They call me by the Drake cause I'm cold with the pen. I want no diamonds but I feel shy. You can dig me cause my boy's mine. My tracks flame like a Damu. The hardest plug on my tongue. These niggas warm glue. I'ma throw with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist but you smell me. One spark then I bet you I'ma blow up. Then throw my name around, get stupid, then you go dumb. No rest for the weary. A versus thinking in his man but you can't see me. You rather drink than go pull up. I'm drinking knife through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat at the a la carte. Got stripped of a bear, come be brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I pour all the planks, you use Decepticons. Fake rappers, they retreat like Cobra. 80s, they can float, they like. Up in the storage and I'm man. Up, down, down, man, I'm cheap. You a beast, man. I take a beat in. Ninja Turtle rap, Turtle Clans who defeated. Hop in my ride, you can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me, cause I'm a guy bomb. Bad attitude like a rocket, my whole to the A. And I bet you can't stop us. LL bad, when I go and show up, you can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I am not in frame. What is up? Why am I not in frame? Why is it showing everything but me? There we go. What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Dre Mac, coming to you again with another episode of The Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. Even if you're on the West Coast, go ahead and get up because you already know that the early bird gets the worm. And on today, I'm going to go over a video describing Baxter Stockman is bad black representation. And if you are a TMNT fan, if you are a real TMNT fan, you know Baxter Stockman's black, baby. Black. Ain't a white, goofy looking fly man. He was black originally. And we're going to go over to it today. And they said it was bad representation, so we are going to go over this video today, going to do a reaction video onto it. This is one I've been kind of holding on to. This actually came out a year ago, and I seen it And of course, I'm always going to look at different things so I can be able to kind of like stack exactly kind of what videos that I want to react to. So this is one. This is one. So hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gan over at the Heavy Gan channel, but you already know how I do. The real question is,
Say why you hating on my energy? Say why you hating on my energy? I don't think you wanna be my enemy.
all right. We are going to go into it. I need my hair braided. God, I'm over here dying. I need my hair braided so badly. Anyway, enough whining about me. Let's see who's all in the house. Robin D, what's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Junior Network, good morning, good morning, good morning. May Kent, the original crew member. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Marley Moore, my guy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Dude, good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't have no idea about what Ben Shapiro is doing or talking about. I have no idea. I know what Baxter Stockman is saying, but I don't know about Ben Shapiro. Damon, good morning, good morning, good morning. Kendall, good morning, good morning, good morning. Alvin Rodriguez, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wavy Things, good morning, good morning, good morning. I did not see that. I've not seen that. All I seen was Baxter Stockman this morning. I don't know what's going on. Andre Ware, good morning, good morning, good morning. Aggressive Relaxing, good morning, good morning, good morning. And I'm not a Trekkie. I'm not really into Star Trek has never been, even when the old show came out. I know my cousin was trying to get me into was it Deep Space Nine that he used to watch all the time. I just wasn't into it. I've never been a Trekkie. Star Wars, yes. Trekkie, nah. I can't. That's just not my thing. But I heard it's a very good show. I heard it's very diverse, and that's awesome. Very awesome for that show. I heard it's got a following. I just never been a Trekkie. Xavier Phoenix, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me see. Justice No, good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, Andre Ware, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wyatt, what's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up? We ain't seen the Lanners. We haven't seen actually take that back. We have seen a teaser trailer. We haven't seen a full trailer yet. I don't know what's going on. I mean, hell, they don't know what's going on. They's got that 7-day window open. So we'll see what happens in that 7-day window. Maybe this is all I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I know what I don't want. You know what I mean? So, but I ain't got no control over that. I'm just me. You know what I got control of? Baxter Stockman. Because he's sitting, well, he's over there. I got both. Actually, I got the Baxter Stockman as a fly, but I did not get the Baxter Stockman two set with the original Oroko Saki from the cartoon and the original Baxter Stockman. I did not get those. I think I still might get those. Anyway, it came in a 2-pack, and I think I still might get those. Anyway, we are going to get into this particular video. And what's crazy, I only seen like a piece of this. Like I said, it just came it just came like by my feed one day. And of course, since I do a lot of reaction videos, I want you guys to remember the ones who's coming to me on that's on my head about Rob and Ernie. Look, I am a reaction channel. I have no dog in the fight. I came there just like anybody listen to rap, all of that. I came in there to watch, observe, and give my opinion. I have no dog in the fight. I don't dislike either one of them because I don't know them. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. Like on no personal stuff. Like Like, oh man, F that person or F this dude because of what they do. No, I don't. Because whatever they do, in whatever me and whatever I felt, how Ernie, and his partner even remotely felt at that time, or what I remotely felt at the time all of that stuff happened. I don't even care anymore. I'm going on with my business. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't care no more. I really don't. Really kind of didn't care then, but really don't really care about that, man. Hey, salutations and blessings to both of them. Anyway, like I said, if you know anything about the original Baxter Stockman in the Mirage comics was black. He was really the main antagonist in the first, I want to say, 5 issues. I want to say it was 5 issues. I got my book up. No, do I got my book over here? No, I got it upstairs. And he was the main antagonist, right? Even though you had the Shredder, people forget. They told the story of the Shredder and Oroku Nagi and Oroku Saki in the very first episode or the very first comic, because they actually thought it was one and done. And then you transition over to after the death of the Shredder, you go over to issue number 2, and this is the coming of the Mousers, the rise of Baxter Stockman. What's up, Blue? And when they adapted the TMNT into a cartoon, they said, well, black people don't transition well in cartoons, which is a lie, which is a blatant lie, because we seen black people in cartoons. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons, Mr. T's cartoons, I would want to say Silverhawks and all kinds of other shows that came before that. You know what I'm saying? We seen black people in cartoons. Come on now, stop it. They wanted to change Baxter Stockman, and they did. They literally race swapped Baxter Stockman in the 1987 cartoon. And it wasn't until IDW, where is the IDW run, where they really brought Baxter Stockman back to the prominence. You know what I'm saying? Like, and fully back black. Panther was black, but you know what I mean? Like, they were talking about the color of our skin was not easy to translate over, which was some bull job. Excuse me. What's up, D Stizzle? So even when you get to the 2012 cartoon, actually, let me take that back. I believe the 2003, I believe the Baxter Stockman was black, or was that just for Turtles? No. Let me take that back. He wasn't. Yeah, I don't think he was even in that series, in the 2003 series. But the 2012 one brought him back as black. You know what I mean? Even when they did when they did TMNT versus Batman versus the TMNT versus Batman, he was back black, but as a fly. A lot of people didn't understand that the original April O'Neil, there was 2 versions of April O'Neil. This is how my turtle fandom is coming through, because the turtles and stuff in the back. But even the original April O'Neil, in the first few issues were, you could say she looked white, right? She was white. Then when you got into, I think, the later issues, I want to say like issue, I think it's like 8, and you see that silhouette of April O'Neil with the turtles in the background. She got on the jean coat. That's because Kevin Eastman, who is the co-creator of TMNT, along with Peter Laird, Kevin Eastman's wife was black. You know what I'm saying? Mixed race, but black. So he started drawing her in the later TMNT comics. I want to say starting with issue 10, which I'm gonna bring up because I even had someone, y'all probably know him, named Eric July, who tried to come and say, no, anybody can have curly hair, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? His wife was black. You know what I mean? even the new toy, you know what I'm saying, course corrected everything, brought back the in the neck of, because I got it. You know I got it. You know what I'm saying? I got two of them. I got one in the package, one out the package. But I got the black April O'Neil and I got the black Baxter Stockman. Ooh, you know what I mean? So when I seen this, it made me curious. Why was Baxter Stockman black representation? And the name of this video was actually Baxter Stockman Would Never Be Made Today. So I want to get into it. But of course, before we get into it, let me shout out the crew members, the magnificent crew, man. They've been holding it down, man. You know I love y'all, man. Let's go. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Stop everything you're doing. Go and hit that like button. I know this is probably your first time watching, and you probably enjoying everything. Stop fucking on the channel and go and hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos or one of my morning live streams. And for only $2.99 a month, you can be a part of the crew. And shout out to all my crew members that have been holding it down for Dre Mack and the crew since the beginning. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program, now in service. Go. Bye. All right, and of course, thank you again to all the crew members that have been holding it down. I really do need to update that list, though. I do need to update that list. Yeah, because okay, so of course, y'all know I was gonna show y'all. Eric July, what do you say about that? Black April, y'all. You know what I'm saying? In all her glory. You know what I mean? And then my main man, Baxter Stockman. You know what I mean? Black Baxter. And when I found out that the studio not only race swapped Baxter, but they race swapped April as well, that's why people were up in arms. Yeah, of course, the same individuals was up in arms to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, because April was black in the movie. And I'm like, if you know the history, you wouldn't even trip off of this. If you know the history about Baxter Stockman, you really wouldn't trip off of a black Baxter Stockman. They couldn't stand having a black April O'Neil, even though, you know what I mean? So anyway, let's get to, you know what? Let me transition over because we're going to get to this video. Oh, I did want to tell you guys this. Make sure you guys are tuning in because I'm going to post this after this video. Make sure you guys are tuning in tonight. I have a special video that from me and Captain Diesel's dojo. My man Captain Diesel. He came through, stopped by, chopped it up with me. We talked to Rob, Ernie, and of course, Recast T'Challa. So I want you guys to make sure that you guys are tuning in. The premiere will post at 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Tune in. It's a really great conversation, especially when we get into Recast T'Challa. So if you're anti-recast or if you're for the recast, you will understand both sides at the end of the conversation. You know what I mean? So it's an excellent, it was an excellent time. Got to bring old Cap back, hang out with us, during the Blurred AF, you know what I mean? So that's what we want to do. But anyway, already know we got biscuits to bake and things to do. So I'm going to take a quick commercial break, but you already know I'll be right back with more of the Dre Mack Show.
We'll be
right back. It's just your mama's raisin butter biscuits, that's all it is.
Not my mama biscuits.
Whoop de doo.
Take a love to a biscuit, man.
Whoop de doo.
Okay,
Okay, so what happened is one time Randy Beeman went on a trip with his dad, and they picked up a lady who wanted to ride home, and this was in Kansas. And she sat in the back seat, and when they got where she wanted to go, they turned around and she was gone. And Randy Beeman's dad talked to the man who lived there and told him what the lady looked like. And the man said, "Oh, that's my wife, but she died 4 years ago." Spooky, huh? Okay, bye.
Whoop-dee-doo.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Whoop-dee-doo.
Good idea. Visiting the circus. Bad idea. Having the circus visit you.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. Let me see if someone's new that came into here. Damon, good morning. Quasimodo, good morning. Let me see. Let me see. Just anybody else came through here. All right. Yeah, she did kind of have that Jennifer Bills look, you know what I'm saying? Until I seen his wife, and then I was like, oh, what up, Sharita, aka Butter Biscuits? Remember, she ate the biscuits, no butter, no honey sauce, just biscuit. Now I felt real bad for her. Yeah, I felt real bad for her. But oh wow, they're super late now. They're super late. I hate when you try to get some stuff ordered and they're super late, not already. You know, I never knew that. I honestly never knew that. I did not know that. What up, Duran? What's good? Truth be told, D-Sizzle, I didn't even know that. So you put me on game. You know, old Mac Headroom right now. You know what I'm saying? Someone said, I look like I'm bald because I got a big forehead. It was like, it was saying I should just give it up. Not knowing my hair comes down to here. You know what I'm saying? But I need to give it up. No more hair, just bald. Just let the forehead do the talking. Baby, I'm not. My forehead been big since I was a kid. And I really praise God, Lord, that only my daughters picked up my forehead and they could cover it with bangs. All right. Anyway, what up, Tina, aka Mintygasm? We are going into why Baxter Stockman would never be made today. And this is by is it Tat? I think it's called Tat Toruzu. You know what I mean? So shout out to this video. I want to see this video. I've been wanting to see this video. So let's go ahead and transition over. Let's get to this. I can't stand when this stuff is going on. All right. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's do this.
In my last video, I explained that while Shredder is the TMNT villain that gets all the attention, it's Baxter Stockman who is the most consistent villain in the Mirage continuity, even acting as the main villain of Volume 2. But I'm not going to rehash the history of Baxter Stockman in this video. Consider this video more like a part 2 to go along with my previous one. I've often seen a few interesting comments about Baxter Stockman, not only on my last video, but just in general on social media. People claim...
Listen to this. Nah, TMNT always has some political undertones. Hell, one could even interpret that the inclusion of Baxter Stockman is woke because he's the only African-American character in first main antagonist introduced in the comics. Of course, this is heralding from 1984 is kind of a big deal. Even though Eastman and Laird ideas weren't intentional, they still managed to leave a political footprint by some degree. Now y'all understand why I hate when people say when black people is in it, it's political. Like we don't exist. It's like, can I ask you guys a question? I'm looking in the camera. Can I ask you guys a question? Are black people mystical creatures in the United States of America? Or are we some type of what? What are we? What are we just are we Pokemon? You know what I'm saying, or something like that? Where you don't we're in the wild and you don't see us. Like, we're literally everywhere. And anytime somebody says anything about a black person being in something, we can't be excluded because now it's woke and it's this and it's political. That's why I still had a problem with Rob saying that, you know, again, I don't care if he covers Mount Soul topics now. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I could care less now, honestly. But why is everything that we do political? I take that personally. I do. I take that personally. And the reason why I take it personally, because we can't even exist without someone saying it's political. It's political. We can't be an antagonist. We're for. Is Miss Roberta in here? I don't know. You know what? Miss Roberta might watch this on the replay. I ain't gonna do it. I was gonna cuss. Oh, Lord knows I was gonna cuss. But we can't be doggone main antagonists to 4 creatures. There was ooze. It became walking, talking turtles that does kung fu. You know what I'm saying? That does martial arts. We can't even be in a main antagonist in that. And that dude probably wasn't even born in 1984. You know what I mean? But obviously we got to be something, because every time we pop up, oh man, this is political. Oh man, it's woke. Why? I mean, seriously, why is our existence so political for these people? And then when someone echoes the sentiments of what these far right-wing nuts be talking about, yeah, I got a problem, dude. I got a problem. That pisses me off. It legitimately does. Because it's like anytime that when we turn around and tell our own stories, that's political too. Oh, let me keep this. I just don't like, not saying this guy. I'm saying just reading that Reddit post, it literally pisses me off. Like, we can't even exist in a fictional universe without somebody got something to say. And you weren't even there. You don't know what was going on in 1984. Hell, we weren't talking about woke this and woke that. We had black people everywhere. Remember, Hollywood was saved by the black exploitation movement. Just like Marvel was saved with Blade. And somehow these mystical creatures called black people that you always got a problem with keep saving y'all in some capacity, somewhere, shape, or form. And I'm tired of the political. Somebody, please let me know why everything that we do is political. I'm sorry. I had to get that out. I didn't cuss, Miss Roberta, if you're watching this, at least on the replay. I didn't cuss, Miss Roberta.
That Baxter Stockman would not be created today because he'd be considered DEI or whatever, and there would be backlash. I fundamentally disagree with this premise. I do agree that Baxter Stockman would not be created today, and I do agree that it's partially because he's black. However, it's for precisely the opposite reason. Baxter Stockman isn't politically correct enough for modern audiences, and I have the receipts to back this up.
He's not politically correct enough for the modern audience. Now I'm very curious to where this is going. Very curious right now. Black man did make Skynet.
So let's just fucking dive into it.
Let's do it. Let's go. And for anybody to know, Transformers, I'm saying this now, Transformers and Ninja Turtles are literally my favorite subsets of anything. You know, I love Marvel. You know what I'm saying? I love Deadpool. I love Black Panther. I love my love, TMNT And first is the Transformers, then it's TMNT. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very curious on where this video is going, because I haven't seen this. You know what I'm saying? I heard the first part and I was like, nope, gotta do a reaction video to this. So anyway. I just thought about this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop it, but effing rat is the sensei of this comic based on Japanese, literature, but somehow the black dude is woke. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. You legitimately can't make this stuff up. Tino, you might be on to something. Silverhawks was dope. Voltron was really dope.
Baxter Stockman is not just a black character. He's a great character.
Facts.
He does not exist to fill a racial quota or anything like that.
Facts.
He's just a well-written character who happens to be black. There are several reasons why he is the favorite villain for so many people, and none of those reasons have anything to do with his race.
Facts. I mean, this dude legitimately made the Mausers. You know what I'm saying? And been a thorn in the side of the Turtles for God knows how long in that run. I mean, he's the one who took Master Splinter. Even the Shredder couldn't do that. And the whole thing was Shredder, because of the death of Yoroku Nagi, had to go. I mean, he created the Foot Clan in America, but once Splinter found out that he was the one who killed his master, you know what I'm saying, Hamato Yoshi, it was only cracking. It's one of the greatest first comic books ever. It is, but it gets better when you're introducing the Purple Dragons and Baxter Stockman and other. Ooh, don't get me started on TMNT. Don't get me started. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I mean, right off the bat, we were introduced to his intellect and cunning. Yep. Unlike most villains, Stockman aimed to use intellectual power rather than physical power for ill-gotten financial gains. But he's also a vengeful character.
He's literally the look what color is he? Anyway, he's literally the Lex Luthor to the Turtles, if you want to keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? He's literally the Lex Luthor in the Turtle universe, or the smartest person in the Turtle universe when it comes to being a foil to the Turtles, especially in the early Mirage days. And he was a smart black dude. There's nothing woke about that. The smart black people every day.
Volume 2 and 4, we saw how he used nanobots to get revenge on April, and he would have gotten away with it if the Utroms hadn't arrived on Earth. Even up
y'all seen what color April was, right? I'm just saying, nobody's doing that because it's woke. He was literally drawing his wife in the comics.
Till his last moments, Stockman was masterfully cunning and deceitful, distracting Donatello from assisting with April, even as he pleaded.
Hey, admins, you know what to do. We ain't doing that, and it's over on the the mobile side. We ain't doing that today. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that woke crap. Get that dude up out of here. He gonna be banned 55 months. No, matter of fact, 65 months. Just because he's talking about some go woke, go broke. Get him up out of here.
For help. Yes, Stockman is the stereotypical evil genius, which is a played-out trope, I'll admit it.
Okay.
But he always had that unique Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird weirdness to him. I'd like to see Lex Luthor's head split open like a coconut. Wait, that happened already? Regardless, Baxter Stockman is one of the greats.
Oh, okay.
But would this great character even be allowed today?
I'm about to say.
Well, the good old...
I'm glad you agreeing, because I'm about to say, we don't... This is Wakanda, and we do not do that here. I said we will not have it. But since you made it up, you good. Since you made it up, you good. You good. All right, we good.
NAACP, the premier civil rights organization representing black people in the United States, has guidelines for the media to follow when depicting black people.
Oh, I did not know this.
Take a look.
I did not know this.
The NAACP views the media, including fictional entertainment, as a means to an end to advance their agenda. According to the NAACP, media should be viewed in the context of a campaign to control perceptions and behaviors, and view every turn of text and every frame of film in storytelling as deliberately advancing a particular agenda. In other words, they believe storytellers should look at the art of storytelling and the quality of the storytelling as secondary, and what should come first and foremost is how storytellers can use their influence to shape public perception. And I'm just using the NAACP as an...
I honestly did not know that they literally had guidelines to this, which is very, are they using those guidelines in media now that they push for that? Is that made in the law? No. Because we still get some, at times stereotypical characters or whatever, depending on what you're watching. Unless it's made like a crime story or whatever, and you got certain things, But yeah, I did not know this. Yeah, and I did. I went at Young Ripper for that, because Young Ripper was trying to only use Peter Laird, like Kevin Eastman, is not the other co-creator. You know what I'm saying? So, and Tina, I do too, because I know the history of the NAACP. I won't bash them, and stuff like that, but I do know the history. So I'm like, anyway, let's keep going.
Example here, guys. There are hundreds of non-profit DEI organizations, for-profit DEI consulting firms, and proto-DEI civil rights organizations, just like this one, that have similar such guidance for the media to follow. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and corporations have enormous pressure from these well-funded organizations to follow such guidelines. It's why Paramount admitted to going out of their way to race swap characters for the sole purpose of fulfilling DEI guidelines.
Paramount is strongly committed to diversity and inclusion. We aim to accurately represent the wide audience we serve in regards to race, religion, ethnicity, culture, gender, identification, ability, age, and more to this end. And it's our policy to actively ensure diversity is reflected and celebrated across our IPs, characters, casts, and decisions, hiring practices, and partnerships, marketing, corporate identity and goals. And the tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I opportunities include strong female character. Again, if you go back to the original comics, she literally went from white, or technically Peter Eastman wanted to make her Asian. Peter Laird. I said Peter Eastman. Put them together. But Peter Laird wanted to make her Asian in early concepts, but they kept her like generically white. She was just like a generic version of a white woman, until Kevin Eastman decided, when he started to draw the comics, and the aesthetic that he went with was like he took inspiration from his wife. You know what I'm saying? He legitimately took inspiration from his wife. So when they introduced April O'Neil, I never looked at her as a DEI. I was like, they're just going back you right, Duran. I just didn't. Yeah, you are absolutely correct on that one. But I was like, they're just going back to Kevin Eastman's premise. Matter of fact, Roz of the TMNT had a black April O'Neil. You know what I mean? So no, they wanted to concept her as an Asian woman, and you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna do something real quick. But if you guys do not mind, I'm just going to take a quick commercial break. Just a quick commercial break, because I want to check this out. And I'll be right back with more of the Dre Mack Show.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Now
you can own one of the greatest gospel albums ever offered. With only giant hits and legendary stars.
Biscuit. I know it's the truth about it. I love. Oh, how I love this biscuit. Oh, how I love this biscuit. It is the best biscuit. I know.
This treasury is not sold in stores, and when you call the toll-free number now, you also get another entire album of all-time gospel favorites.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. So let me just because I had to go get receipts. So and she was, if you could just, I don't know if you guys could see, but you could see in the original drawings, even though this was in color in the original, technically we're in black and white. You could see, well, April here and then April over here. She looks more Asianist, white, but you can't really tell because of the color ink. But if you go back to Tales of the TMNT, let me see, this was with the Mausers because she was an executive there. You could tell in this that she's white in this one. But I want to say in book 2, trying to see I mean, you had the Future Toys. I mean, this mug is wild with the this is when it went straight cosmic. I don't think it's in is it in book 2? I don't think it's in book 2, but I know it may be in book 3. But if you look at the later issues, that's when you have the Black April O'Neil. And yeah, even though in the color palette, technically, because this was literally made in 19, because this is the first graphic novels, and I think this was what, 19. When was this? 1987. So it was 1987. You can see, even though she's supposed to be black, what color did they use for the ink through the publishing company? But she was supposed to be black. And we know now, of course, she is. But yeah, she was supposed to be black, but they used the ink to whiten her up, which is very common in a lot of these books, because especially in the books from the 70s, 80s, a lot of the comics, you will see them, black people will be gray. We wouldn't even be black, we'd be gray because of the color palette. But I always felt like it was bull job. Because I believe that you could make these characters black. But when you're trying to sell to a demographic, you're trying to placate to a demographic. I mean, hell, they got Baxter in here black. You can see Baxter Stockman in here black, and he black. You know what I mean? But when you're trying to play to a demographic, this is how sometimes we get left behind. So it is what it is. All right, let's get back to the video. But I just wanted to show that. But now we know there's evidence there's a black April O'Neil.
However, the absurdity of DEI becomes nakedly apparent when we begin talking about the bad guys like Baxter Stockman. The NAACP strongly advises all storytellers to avoid what they call the infatuation with black criminality.
Yes.
According to them, the portrayal of black people and black communities with predilection toward crime and criminal acumen is ignorant, malicious, and or criminal in and of itself.
Yeah, they're trying to. I think the NAACP was trying to do with the. I think the Italian something. It was basically like the NAACP, but for Italians, and basically, the portrayal of them being criminals, in the mob and stuff like that. They had to go in and answer for certain things like that. So yeah, I believe this is the standard they were trying to follow.
In other words, if you portray a black person as a criminal, then not only is that wrong in their eyes, but the NAACP would argue that you are a criminal just for portraying black people in that way. So
I don't like that. As long as it's not a as long as the story doesn't follow stereotypical tropes that goes along with that. But now black people can't be villains. Hey, Miss Roberta, I didn't cuss. I didn't cuss, Miss Roberta. I put that on everything. You wasn't in here, and I didn't use no cuss words. I wanted to, but I didn't.
No black villains, no black bad guys, no black criminals, and if you do portray black people that way, well then fuck you, you're the criminal. This is radical, wild shit. But this is precisely why, even in comics, where the setting is in a place as diverse as New York City, all of the villains and henchmen are white dudes. Sometimes even rednecks, as if there are gangs of racist rednecks running around New York City.
Yeah,
it's like fucking Jussie Smollett's fantasy. It's like an alternate fucking universe where only white people have the ability to commit crime. And if you're a normal, well-adjusted person, no matter what race you are, this probably all sounds crazy to you. We can't have black villains now? I know, it's absurd. But this idea that black people aren't allowed to be villains is pervasive, even in the TMNT community. Here's a cut of some clips in a video by Tori Sorsky, an influential TMNT content creator with a following about 4 times the size of mine, explaining why Baxter Stockman is bad representation for black people.
Disclaimer that I have not read beyond the first 7-ish issues of the Mirage.
I'm going to say this in the nicest way I can possibly say this. I didn't cuss. I've been good. I've been really good. But I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. White people, I love y'all. I love y'all to death. I do. A lot of y'all are hilarious. Y'all beautiful people or whatever. But I will say, stop talking for us sometimes. Ask us first if we think it's bad representation. Please get a Marley Moore trying to take me on the dark side, Miss Roberta. He's trying to get me over there with the Sith Lord. You over there with his cloak on. Get him. Trying to be on the good side of the force. But this is real talk. Real talk. Ask us first before you get on your channels to try to defend us and be an ally. Ask us if it offends us. You know what I can't stand? For somebody to say it offends black people when you ain't black and you ain't asked nobody black. You ain't got a group of black people that you can say, does this offend me? Let's go into this. When me and Blue were talking about Captain Durag, he had his side, I have my side. We're both black people seeing the same thing with two perspectives where we can learn and understand from each other. I don't see no other. I mean, I got that plushie that you got, but I don't see no black people in your video unless you are black and you are very ambiguous or you are passing, baby, I don't feel comfortable for you to say what's offensive to us or not without black people being there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Am I could be dead wrong for that. But I do feel like sometimes people speak for us and do not ask us. You do not come and say, does this offend you? You just say, it's offensive. It's offensive to black people. And black people sitting around like, we didn't say that. How is that offensive? You know what I mean? Like, how are you talking for us? When did I say that was offensive? Oh, it's offensive because I'm offended and you should be offended too. Wait a minute. No. Because if we're offended by something, we'll say we're offended. But then we also get called victims too. So, yeah.
Continuity. However, if I were to describe Stockman's characterization in just a few words, it would be a sociopathic terrorist. I don't think I need to explain why the first black character in this franchise being depicted like this isn't great. Either way, the way that Baxter Stockman is portrayed in the 80s and 90s doesn't bode particularly well, and unfortunately, it does not get much better. When examining all of these interpretations of Baxter Stockman, it's pretty apparent that he's never been a great source of black representation, whether that is due to him being pathetic, evil, or in Mutant Mayhem's case, dead. Stockman and Bebop are the most consistent black characters to be reinterpreted for various versions of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and every single portrayal has at least one aspect that makes them not particularly great black representation. And those reasons are in addition to them consistently being portrayed as antagonists.
Miss Roberta, the spirit is coming on me. Oh, the spirit is coming. What in the whole entire blue hell is she talking about? The dude is literally a genius level threat that is an antagonist in a comic book. And yes, is he the first black character in a TMNT? Yes. Is he one of the most unique villains that they have? Absolutely. Dude is smart. He's intelligent. He's a smart, intelligent guy built on, what he perceives as what he wants the world to look like. We do not say this about Lex Luthor. We damn sure don't say this about Victor Von Doom. We don't say this about a lot of white characters. And then now you want to come to our aid talking about this is bad black representation, baby. Who are you to speak for us? Let us say that. Consult a black person. Consult multiple. Do it for blacks only. Poll. I don't know, but man, I do not. This is all love. This is really love. This is all love. Stop doing that. Stop telling us what offends us. That is the most disrespectful and rude thing anybody could ever do. Is tell us what offends us, because we have no problem telling you what offends us. Baby. And I like her poster. I literally have that plushie sitting on my TMNT 2-player countercade of TMNT and Turtles in Time. But baby, I'm not feeling this.
I mean, what more can I add here? Clearly, Tori Sarsky is in agreement with the guidance from the NAACP and DEI firms that black people should not be represented as villains. And by the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Slash on the Tataruzu forums for bringing this video to my attention. But anyway, there's no other way to say it. Simply put, if Baxter Stockman were created today, he would not be allowed to be black. If Paramount had it their way, all the villains would be white and all of the human protagonists would be black. Clearly they can't make Baxter white again because then that would be whitewashing, and it's likely that the only reason they made Bishop a brown woman is because there weren't any other human protagonists to race swap after they race swapped April and neglected to include Casey Jones, who was
Let's not. Whoa. Got it. Even though this video is a year old and you probably already know, April was black in the comics at one time. That is not a, well, if you call it a race swap, then Kevin Eastman appeared later, race swapped her a whole hell of a lot long before she got re-race swapped in a 1987 cartoon, before she got re-race swapped in the 2003. I mean, she stayed white all the way up until Tales of the TMNT. But she was black in the comics too. Again, that's why I say there's more median than just the cartoon. Just like when we talk about what were we talking about yesterday? When we talk about there's so much going on. When we talk about comics and stuff like that, people need to really understand. Shut up, Quasimodo. I can't even get my statement without your foolishness. And I gotta eat. First of all, Quasimodo, I gotta eat gluten-free cheesecake now. I can't even eat the crust because the graham crackers have wheat in it. I take it. But but to make a long story short, there's always a different media. You have to go back to that media. You just can't rely on one source and say that's the definitive source. It's not. It's not. Look how much they changed the TMNT from 1987 from the gritty 1984 comics. Look at what they race swap Baxter Stockman, you know what I'm saying, and then race swap him back for many years. You know what I mean? So, but you have to look at the whole broader spectrum. So, anyway.
Was originally planned to be a brown woman too, by the way. Yeah, it's a fucking mess. This whole race swapping shit and trying to tiptoe around which characters can be good represent.
You gotta know the source material though before you get to talking about what's DEI, because even if you look at the DEI information, and I've said this on the channel before and I'm gonna continue to say it again, white women take up the majority of DEI hirings. White women, not brown ones, not Asian, not Middle Eastern, not Hispanics, white women. So when they race swapped her back to black, that is paying homage to Kevin Eastman's wife, who was black. That's why I showed my April O'Neil figure. That's why I showed my Baxter Stockman figure. Because it was all this hoopla about why they had to be white in the cartoon, and it was 1987. Didn't nobody know what a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle was, and nobody really cared at that time because we didn't have social media, we didn't have all this Discord, there was no YouTube, none of this stuff. I was there, and we just enjoyed the cartoon. And then we found out later on, oh my God, there's comics of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Oh my God, Baxter's black. Oh my God. So is April. So
for which groups while also being mindful of which racial quotas you need to fill. It's all so fucking stupid.
But I do agree
hate the
with
premise
him on
that stories need to be propaganda first and stories second. The focus should be on good storytelling. It's like before you even begin creating the story, you need to be a mad scientist, eugenics expert, cross-referencing fucking biodiversity genome maps and racial census data so you create just the right amount of every race and ethnicity in their proper roles as either villains or protagonists without.
Okay, so I'm starting to get what's cooking here. So are you saying with the evidence and free Google and stuff like that, when they race swapped the character, did you go back into the history of the character? Now, the character of Bishop, I don't know who that character is. They wasn't in Mutant Mayhem. Of course, you know, I just told the history of April O'Neil, Baxter, Stockman. And I understand, you know, going out your way for DEI and trying to push inclusion. But let's be honest, it should be inclusion anyway. White is not the default color of Americans. We are a melting pot. Unless you live in South Dakota, anywhere where the population of black people are probably slim, or North Dakota or Wyoming, where there's not a lot of black population, you go to anywhere else, you know, especially in big cities like a New York, it's going to be black people. Again, when did we become mystical creatures? When are we Pokemon that only pop out every now and again and people throw a ball to catch us? I mean, they did it anyway and they brought us on ships. So it's just wild. It's wild, especially when we don't know when a person is talking about DEI and race swaps and stuff like that, and they don't know the history of race swaps. Go into the deep history of how many times white people would portray not only black people, especially during the menstrual period and stuff like that, just as Asians and any other race. I mean, I keep saying this. I'm going to always say this. Freaking John Wayne was Genghis Khan. That'll tell you how deep race swap has been in the zeitgeist of Hollywood.
Without accidentally offending anyone except for white people, of course, because it's okay to offend white people. These weird mandated quotas and restrictions on storytelling from DEI firms and censorial racial overlords are resulting in worse stories and less creativity, but it wasn't always this way. Let's go back in time a little bit and review what Peter Laird said about the original Baxter Stockman from the 80s. He said, "If I am remembering correctly, we, or I think I, did 2 different versions of Stockman in sketch form, one white and the other black. I don't think there was any particular reason why we chose the black version. Could have gone either way, really. Maybe we were thinking that it would be a good idea to make our developing cast a bit more diverse, I don't know. As for being accused of racism because of having a black villain, well, people have been called racists for far more stupid reasons, so I guess it might have been possible. I don't remember either of us being that concerned." What an absolute Giga Chad answer by the great Peter.
I mean, because it really didn't matter. It didn't matter. You're making a character. This is a fictional character in a made-up universe that I created in my brain. You know what I'm saying? This is not real. This is not real. You got a talking rat. A talking rat. And they're worried about black people in the comics being DEI and woke. You got 4 walking, talking turtles. But the black guy is where you draw the line at? You think it's DEI? Talking rats. That's all I'm saying.
Laird. Creating a good character was their first concern, and Stockman adding a bit of diversity to the cast was just a passing secondary thought rather than being their main motivation for the character.
Who wants to watch? I'm dead serious. I know me, and I've watched all white shows and stuff like that for years. You know what I'm saying? After a while, it gets boring because you're trying to tell me there's nobody else. I stopped watching Friends because there's nobody else black. There's nobody else black. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody else of color in this. This is and this is what talked about as one of the greatest shows of all times. Black diversity, like there's just no black people that come into a coffee shop. A talking rat.
Weren't frothing at the mouth and obsessing over whether or not he'd make good representation. As for racist accusations, He was just like, yeah, but I'm not racist, so I don't really give a shit about false accusations. Just a Giga Chad answer. As you guys already know, we stan Peter Laird on this channel. And you know what? I think Peter Laird's approach is really the best approach. Let's stop race swapping characters. Let's stop obsessing over quotas and race.
I was about to say, do we have that same energy when the race swap goes from black to white? Because I need to have that same energy, big dog. See, that's why I want you guys to realize when I do a reaction channel or I do a reaction, I'm not picking a side. I'm giving my full reaction. But if you go stand on race swap, saying on all race swaps, because you damn sure should condemn the original race swap because it shouldn't have happened in the first damn place. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. But these people just didn't, because you're selling toys, and that's all, kids who grew up in the 80s, that's what we got. We literally got 30-minute toy commercials. So we got our Turtles, we got our Transformers, we got our Voltron, we got our He-Mans, we got our real Ghostbusters, we got our She-Ra, we got our My Little Ponies, Rainbow Brights. Let me go down the list. You know what I'm saying? We got our gigantic wrestling man that was made of rubber and the arms stuck up like this. You know why? Because of toy commercials that were passed off as cartoons for us. You know what I mean? But nobody had a problem, with a white, as long as it's white, it's right. And it's funny because now you're saying, all the villains now are white dudes, which I get a portion of that, but so is the damn heroes at the end of the day. The heroes are not Asians or Mexicans. The heroes are not blacks. I mean, in TMNT, the heroes are the ones in the half shell. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, the people who are tagging along are white men or white women. So when you look at your comic books, yeah, you can pick TMNT, but look at the whole landscape of comic books. There's majority of white male superheroes. You're not lacking, big dog. But again, if you go have that smoke for the race swap, have it for every single one of us. If you're gonna champion it all, or don't champion nothing champion all of it, or nothing at all.
Representation. Let's just focus on creating good characters and good stories, and as a result, good original black characters like Baxter Stockman will emerge. Anyway, that's all for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always.
All right. So, matter of fact, let me go to a commercial break because I gotta take a little breather. Wanted to use foul language, but Miss Roberta came in here, so now I can't do that. But let me take a quick commercial break, man. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back for more of the Dre Mack Show.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Are you going down? Then you gotta know the best way to go. On the down low.
Damn, you banking like that, and you come over here with a biscuit meal, man?
Would you like to take a survey?
No. Elevator go down the hall.
It's you! It's you!
Whoop they do?
We are talking about the same girl.
Okay, well, what do we do? Fight a duel or something?
Well, I don't know. Maybe,
Now the conclusion of Step
Back. Like this?
Slower. Bend over.
Studman, what's going on?
Darling, are you all right?
Studman, who was that woman?
That was Professor Haight, disguised as an ugly French lap dancer.
Ugly? She looked beautiful.
I suppose she might have been considered beautiful until you walked in the room.
Oh, Stedman, I've been dreaming of this moment. Come here.
Wild horses couldn't keep me away. Invisible robots!
Invisible robots?
Beep, 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 beep. Look out!
Man, he's Stockman, not just your Bruce boyfriend. If you cross him, you're a dead man. You heard what I said, man.
I heard he was gay.
No way, sister.
Who's that man?
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. Final thoughts on this, which again, because I'm very fair and I'm not just going to go one side or the other. I understood where he was coming from. I very much understood where he was coming from. Characters shouldn't be based on race first, story second. It should be a good story, and then within that story, the people are black, white, green, whatever. It doesn't matter because it's a story. And the biggest thing about the story is following the story, understanding the story. I understand that. I will also say, don't get caught up in, that this is just a race swap to follow an agenda or whatever without knowing all the information. You have to know all the information prior to going into something, and just calling it DEI, especially with April O'Neil. If you know the history and you heard, there's an excellent documentary that they did. It's not Turtle Forever because that's the cartoon. Oh my God, it's on Amazon, but it's a TMNT documentary, and personally one that I will tell anybody who, especially if they're a big fan of TMNT, to watch, because this is the argument that I made when I talked about this, and I made a short out of this a long time ago about the Black April O'Neil. Let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah. Give me just a second because I want to be able to, just so we can just drive this home real quick. Hold on.
Was April O'Neil black?
Like, I guess any writer, you kind of pull from all of these
turtle power
influences around you. Your crazy Uncle Bert, your sister this, the next.
Okay, so I wrote, this is a short that I did, and Kid Gravity Beyond coming in with the dunk, because that's what I was waiting for. It's turtle power. Yeah, love that documentary. Anyway, so I pulled this from the Turtle Power series, and I said April was conceived by Peter Laird as an Asian woman in the early concept stages, but ultimately developed as a white woman in her first appearance. She was named by Kevin Eastman after his then girlfriend and future ex-wife, who was of mixed heritage. But if he had any ideas of April being black or mixed, he never implemented them on the pages beyond a perm, which she only had for a couple years. But if you listen,
next girlfriend, for example, April was designed and written after a girl that I had dated in high school, and then we got married later and stuff. But she was a big inspiration for that character, at least in name. She didn't look exactly like her. She did in later issues.
But that's his black wife. And I literally made this for Eric July because he came out with a video. I'm like, no, that ain't it. But yeah, that's his wife. So when you look at that portrayal of April O'Neil in the comics, especially with the perm, especially if you're looking at the 80s, you know what I'm saying? That big perm hair was it was all the rave. Along with a lot of other stuff, and guess what? Hold on, wait a minute. Do I got that book? No, he has the other book. No. Guess what book he's holding? Guess what book I got? So me and Mr. Kevin is on the same page here. But yeah, so what's up, Torian? And Kid Gravity Beyond, man, thank you for that slam dunk. You know what I mean? But Han Solo was almost black too. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Wavy things. What's up? Said, I'm at work. I missed a lot. But was it the white Baxter era, 87 through 96? It was pretty long. It was pretty long. He said, the reason why I love Vader because I know a black man done his voice. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, that's my final thoughts on this. Again, I don't have a problem of what he said about, because I understand how DEI, just for the sake of checking the box. Nobody wants to be a DEI hire, even though we're, in reality, the DEI hires don't look like any of us. They're white women. But, I get what he was saying. And I get the frustration when you look at like, oh, so the white dudes got to be now the criminals? You know what I mean? I get that. I also get that. And I also get that you do have to go back and look at the history of this stuff. When you go back and look at the history of this stuff, then you will understand where people are coming from. We're not trying to be mean. I didn't like the fact that, some young white girl, young white woman, you know what I'm saying, is talking for me, or saying what we should be offended by. I don't like that. Don't talk for me. Talk for yourself. If you're offended, cool. Don't say black people should be offended. No. We'll tell you what we're offended by. And we know the racist tropes. And Baxter Stockman, for everything he is a villain in this comic. In these heavy Miss Roberta in here, I'm on the cuss. No, he's actually perfect as a villain. He just so happened to be black. And I personally don't see anything what's wrong with that.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Gotta go and wrap it up. Again, thank you so very much for you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Dre Max Show. What did you think about this reaction video? What do you think about people talking for us? What did you think about, if you learned anything new about TMNT? Put it in the comment section below and let me know what you guys think. Of course, don't forget that I do have a video coming out at 7 o'clock tonight with Captain Diesel's Dojo. So make sure you guys are tuning in. Get in on that premiere, because I won't be in there. I'll be at work. But again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe power, man. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Where's my outro at? Man, I paid a lot of bills today and I'm broke. But other than that, I gotta go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.